Hey guys, down to the brick here. Today we're going to be comparing some very interesting LEGO Star Wars minifigures. These are known as the LEGO Mon Calamari minifigures. So on the left here we have Admiral Akbar, and then in the middle we have Admiral Raddus, and then on the right we have Nadar Veb. So Admiral Akbar was a veteran commander for the Rebel fleet, and Nadar Veb, he was a Clone Wars Jedi Padawan. He was Padawan to Kit Fisto, and he ended up dying to General Grievous. And here we Admiral Raddus. He commanded the Rebel Starfleet before the Battle of Yavin. And these three are very interesting minifigures. Their head molds are the exact same, and all the Mon Calamarian's head molds are the same except for Quarry, but we'll get into that later. So if you see, they both have that orangey-ish color, except for Admiral Raddus. He is more of a gray head color. Yeah, and you can see that gray head color. That's really cool. I thought it was really unique that they did that. Here, I'll go around the side. You can see the difference between their eyes too. You can see Nadar Veb, he was the oldest out of them, so they didn't print his eyes as well. They're just like completely open. They are yellow, similar. Actually, they're all three of them are all yellow eyes. It's just Nadar Veb's is like the most unique, just because it's like so wide. But it's really good. I think that they changed that to make it more like an Admiral Akbar, like an Admiral Raddus type of eye style, because it's a lot more detailed instead of just wide-eyed. But this one is an older one, so you can't really complain. I really do like the printing on Admiral Akbar. His head right there, that's really detailed. Admiral Raddus, he doesn't have printing on the top of his head, but his like right where his neck is, he has a lot of cool dots, and that's really cool printing. It's really unique. And Nadar Veb, he has printing on his head. It's really subtle, but it's pretty cool. It's the same head mold and same printing as the LEGO Star Wars Mon Calamari officer. So this is not the only like non-exclusive printing for this head mold, because you can get it in another set. But yeah, it's still, they did a pretty good job. And the torsos, they're all exclusive too. You can see Admiral Raddus and Admiral Akbar, they have like the Admiral rank and they have the badge there. And then there's Nadar Veb. You can see his Jedi tunic and his utility belt then, and that's a pretty cool Jedi tunic. I never really seen that sort of style of one. Looks like a backwards hoodie. But it's pretty cool how the way they did it. And that is also very similar in looking to the LEGO Star Wars Mon Calamari officer. His torso looks similar because it has the belt and it has a very similar like backwards hoodie sort of look. And yeah, the two admirals, they did a great job on the printing. They also have leg printing, and the leg printing turned out great. For Admiral Raddus, that like flow from the hip to the leg printing, they did a great job on that. And onto the backs here, they all have back printing here. Admiral Akbar has a couple lines, and you can see all three of their belts coming around. And Admiral Raddus, that's a really interesting back printing there. And same as Nadar Veb, you can see there's like another hoodie-ish on the back, but he also has it on the front. So all three of them have very unique and interesting printings. Now I'm just going to show you a couple of the other minifigures. I do not have them, so I'll have virtual images up in their place. So here's the Mon Calamari officer. If you take a look right here, this is Admiral Raddus, and the Mon Calamari officer is beside him. This came in the set with the original Admiral Akbar, and you can see right there, their head molds and head prints are the exact same. They basically just reused it, which is really interesting, because yeah, at first I thought that it was they reused the old Admiral Akbar's printing, but then I realized it was the officers. And if you compare them, they're actually very similar in the way they look. Even with their torsos and everything, they have very similar sort of styles. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to me. Yeah, so they do have the exact same head molds and printing. And here's Corey. He was an engineer, and he made and designed the B-Wing starfighter ship. Yeah, he was in the Rebels series. He's a very interesting minifigure. This is probably the most interesting out of all of them. You see his head mold here. It's very, very interesting. He has this like helmet hat on top of his Mon Calamari head, but his head is like it's not like, I don't know how to say it. It's like he doesn't really have a neck in his head. It's like it's very interesting in the way they did it, and with the like looks like almost a little mustache. It's kind of cool, and it's just so unique from the others that it's like yeah, it's so cool. His eyes, it's more of like a goldy instead of a yellow. His nose, it's pretty cool. And yeah, it looks like he has a little mustache there. That's cool. Yeah, so that's Corey. And now we'll move on to the Lieutenant Beck. So Lieutenant Beck is another very interesting character. He came from the Lego Star Wars Resistance Transporter ride in Disney Galaxy's Edge. So he actually came from a Disney ride, which I find really interesting, that they created a Lego set from a Disney ride, and he was just an automated robot that in the ride that basically just said different things. But yeah, his torso print is extremely cool with that like that olivish green there, and then they have the like again the Admiral badge on him, and then he has the most unique color of all of them. Admiral has also had a cool color, but this is like a whitey and light gray. It's like a really cool color, and his printing is really unique too. This is one of my favorite Mon Calamarians. I wish I did have this one, but yeah, I don't really want to buy the set just for him, even though he is a really cool figure. Yeah, it's so cool how his like belt also goes through his torso. That's like it goes through his shirt. It's like a very interesting concept thing. But yeah, so that's Lieutenant Beck. And now we'll do the two Admiral Akbar comparison. This is the newer Admiral Akbar, and the one on the other side, the right side, that's the older Admiral Akbar. Surprisingly, I think they have the exact same print color on their heads. I think that brown is very similar colors. I think it's the exact same. But yeah, so they have different printing. The newer Admiral Akbar is a lot like more detailed. It has a lot more spots. The older one is the exact same printing as Nadar Veb and the Mon Calamari officer, but it's just darker instead of the lighter printing. But it's the same design. So he sort of needed to become himself, Admiral Akbar. So we don't want him to be Nadar Veb and another officer. So it's good that they freshened it up and made it a lot more detailed and nice. And this was based off The Force Awakens, so his torso printing's different. But the one before was fine, I liked it. But this one, it's really detailed and nice. So yeah, I like the newer one better, but that's just because it's newer. Also, his eyes, they freshened up and they made it a lot nicer too. So yeah, now I'll just get a shot with all of them together. And yeah, this is all of them together. It's a really impressive collection of them. If I were to pick a favorite, I would probably say, I could not pick a favorite actually. My least favorite would probably be like the older ones, just because they're not as detailed, but that's just my opinion. I think Lieutenant Beck was a really cool inclusion to the Mon Calamarian family. Admiral Radis, he's also really unique because he doesn't have that head printing like everybody else. He has more of a neck printing, which is completely different. So I would say my favorites would be Lieutenant Beck, Admiral Radis, and Admiral Akbar, the newer version, just because the head printing is really, really detailed, and I really do like that. The simple but detailed look. That's really cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe And if you're new, please drop a comment down below. See you in the next one.